Hey guys, what is up? DigiGames here, or Dan Menel, and basically today I'm doing a stream for you guys. I'm going to be ranking all of the Doctor Who main villains, well, not even main villains, just the new Who villains, every single one of them. Look at this list, there's over 100 villains here, because there's been so many episodes of New Who, and most of them contain a new villain, even ones that don't, like the Daleks. I'm pretty sure we have all the different types of Daleks, so it's going to be quite hard wondering which one is which. But let's get into it. But before we start, we're obviously going to change these. We'll stick Legendary still at the top, but we will change some of these. I don't even know what I'm going to change them to, so if you have any requests, I don't know if anyone's watching at the moment. I've never streamed, this is my first time streaming, so I'm not sure if anyone's even watching. I don't know what the indicator is for people watching, but we'll add another category below Pretty Bad, or maybe above it, called, we'll put it in pink, and we'll call it, okay, apparently I've put Pretty Bad in pink, but okay, we'll call it couldn't take seriously. There. So once we find too funny, like some of the ones we're going to get to down here, like not funny but so cringy that I can't even take them seriously, and they're not considered a good villain on the show. So I'm quite happy. We'll put one below awful as well. We'll add a row in the colour. Why isn't it changing the colour? I want. But okay, we'll leave this in grey, because that's like the most boring colour. But we will put that into should never return. So, starting off with this. I just need to check. How do I see if anyone's actually watching? Participants. Okay. No one's watching. But this is a stream, so if people do decide to join, they can help with the tier list as we go on. But if not, if you're watching this as a YouTube video after, make sure to watch the whole video, go down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for more tier list content. Also, you can go check out my other two tier lists on both all the MCU movies, and also all the Flash main villains as well. So, to start things off, we have got the Wasp from the episode called Unicorn and the Wasp. I didn't mind the episode, however, the Wasp main villain, like the episode being the murder mystery and all, but with Agatha Christie, and also if I make any mistakes with speaking, I can't edit them out because we're live streaming. So this is going to be put in the... I could take it seriously when it was in human form, but it was actually quite stupid towards the end with all the buzzing. So we'll put him in couldn't take seriously for now. The guy from Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. I've forgotten his name, but the one that the Doctor just lets explode. We'll put him in not good, but not bad. To be fair, he was a pretty terrible main villain, or villain. But we'll put him in there just for the time. The Flood. Now this has to be one of the best episodes. Waters of Mars. Most people think it's one of the best episodes. I don't think it's as high as most people make it out to be, but it's definitely a good episode. But the villain, the Flood, is definitely one of the scariest villains, and the fact that they can infect any water, and the fact that the quote that's water can wait, that was such a scary line. Now we have the girl from Fear Her. I forget her name because this was one of the worst villains and the worst episodes. I don't hate it as much as some of the episodes we're going to get to down here. I can't find the main villain from that episode, but you saw it in the thumbnail. We're all going to get to the Love and Monsters episode. But the Dalek, I'm not sure what episode this is from, so we're just going to rank all the Daleks on the same. The Daleks have to be, except from the one in Resolution, because as much as that Dalek was as good as the normal Daleks, actually no, we'll rank all the Daleks separately. However, I'm not sure where this Dalek's from. I think it's Daleks from the end of series 4, so we'll put him in. I think it's the one that Oh, I don't even know what Dalek it is, but we'll put him in pretty good. If you want to leave anything in the comments, like what Dalek this is, to be fair. Next we have Dav Ross. He has to go up there in the legendary category. Every episode he's been in, from, not Matt Smith, he wasn't in that, from David Tennant's era all the way through to Peter Capaldi's era. He's definitely one of the most legendary villains, especially when we got to see his backstory as a kid and how he met the Doctor. So we've got, I'm not sure where to put these because this is the reason I started watching Doctor Who. I watched this episode with my mate and then I got hooked on the show. So the dolls from Night Terrors, I think we need a category below pretty good, because not bad but not good, that's just a step down from pretty good. So we're going to put in a category just called okay. No, not that one. We want that to be really good. And then we need a category below this, add row below, and we're going to call it okay. I know loads of the colours are the same, but I can't be bothered changing them now because we're in midstream. Next we have the, I've forgotten what they're even called, the priest people that Bill unleashes on the Earth. The monks, that's what they're called. The monks, I think they were actually a really good villain. I liked that three-parter starting at the Vatican with the episode titled, I've forgotten. I keep forgetting the episode titles. I'm sorry, what? This is literally a picture of nothing. How am I meant to see this? Can I zoom in? Nope. Right, we'll come back to this since I cannot see what it is. This is the bandages from the second episode of the Jodie Whittaker era. And yeah, they should never return. They were just some bandages. And I think the concept was good, so we'll put them in awful. But the fact that they weren't a good villain. New, didn't we title this okay? The Krasko from Rosa. I actually think he was an okay main villain for the episode. I would have liked to see him again. I think he was a good main villain. Wasn't as bad as most people say. Next we have the Eternals. Now, as villains, they are really good. However, the storyline in Jodie Whittaker's era of Doctor Who basically ruined them because they made them so powerful that they couldn't find a way to defeat them. So we'll put them in really good. However, their storylines so far, except from in old Doctor Who, in New Who they've been pretty terrible. Next we have the flat above Craig Owen's house, or whatever he's called in real life. How can I forget his name? I'm like, oh, why do I keep forgetting people's name? But yeah, the episode titled The Lodger. Let's just go with that. I think it was an awful main villain. It was just a flat and an automated TARDIS time machine thing. Okay, next is all what you've been waiting for. We're definitely going to put the Azorbeloff in. Should not return. Or should we put him in? No, because he's a lot better. He's a lot worse than pretty bad and awful. He's in the worst rated episode of all time. Actually, it's not the worst rated episode of all time. And I forgot, is the villain from Orphan 55 in here? Actually, I think that might be these. That might be the villain from Orphan 55, to be honest. So, yeah, because they're humans, aren't they? Yeah, this is the thing from Orphan 55. We're getting to them. The planet in the third episode of the Matt Smith and Clara series, Rings of Akaten, that's what it's called. I actually liked Grandfather. We're going to put him in not bad, but not good, because I wouldn't like to see him again, because it's... But the episode was a good episode. It had a lot of emotion in it and stuff like that. Autons, so these have been used twice so far. They've been used with the first episode of Christopher Eccleston's in Rose, and they were also brought back as plastic duplicates in The Big Bang and The Pandorica Opens. So I think they're okay main villains. I think they're quite scary and freaky, but overall they're not like one of the best main villains of the show. But next we have Vast and Narada. Now they are going in the legendary. Or should we stick... No, we can't stick them on the same as the Eternals. But they are as good as the Flood and the Monks. So maybe we'll bunk the Eternals down and we will leave Dav Ross alone in the legendary category for now. Next we have Mr. Sweet. Yeah, I think he was an awful main villain. He was just some reptile dinosaur thing from the dawn of time. And yeah, basically I didn't like him at all. Next we have... What is this picture? I think that's the Boneless, which was another great episode from Peter Capaldi. And I actually loved them as main villains. I think they belong in the really good... We're getting a theme here, like the elements ones. So, shadows, memory, water, and dimensions and stuff. They all seem to be good main villains. The Dalek, this Dalek's in there because it doesn't quite reach legendary. Madame Kavarian, who Amy kills in The Husband of River Song, we're going to put in awful. I don't think she was a good villain at all. I think she was quite cringy at times, especially with her speech in A Good Man Goes to War. The Witches in Martha Jones's Shakespeare's Code episode, so Carrier Knights. I think they were in an okay episode, but I think they were pretty bad villains. They were quite cringy as well. Now, Cassandra, in the second episode, she was okay, but when they brought back her in New Earth, I hate that episode with a passion. But Cassandra as a villain, before she starts taking over David Tennant and Billie Piper's body... Actually, let's just stick her in the Couldn't Take Seriously, because I couldn't take her seriously. Next we have the guy... I believe this is the guy from Kablam who sets it all up. I might be mistaken, but I don't remember him from anywhere else. So, I think Kablam was quite a good episode. I'm going to put it in... Not bad, but not good, because he didn't get a lot of screen time. It was literally the 5 minutes at the end, and then he kind of got blown up by loads of parcels, and the Doctor just stood there and watched him get blown up. Sorry about my face cam as well. There's no light in here. I can try turning the light on, but yeah, I doubt that helped at all. Oh no, it helped a bit actually. But the sun's on this side of my face, and then it's dark on this, so the camera is struggling to focus. It'll get better as the stream goes on, as the light returns down. Next we have the Clockwork people from The Girl in the Fireplace. Now these were really freaky villains, like, to say they hardly did anything, but let's put them in the okay category because they're definitely as good as these three, maybe even better than these three. I don't even know why these are in the okay category. The Eternals in New Who were terrible, the Autons were okay, and Krasko was okay, so maybe the Eternals can go in the not bad but not good column, because I'd prefer these three over the Eternals. The Sontarans, they're one of the main villains, and they can go in really good, especially in the episodes with Martha and Donna. I keep forgetting the names of them. Like, I knew them all before I started this stream, but we digress. The Cybermen from... Right, I'm sick of figuring out the episode from this. Like, I know that Dalek's from Dalek with Rose and Christopher Eccleston's Doctor. I know this Dalek's from Resolution, but the rest of them, I have no idea the Daleks. So, and the Cybermen, like, these Cybermen, that's from Matt Smith's episode. This is some other... Maybe that's actually the Dalek from Resolution, because it has the microwave pieces on it that stops it from... No, that's definitely... Oh, see, this is what I mean. So, I think the Cybermen, if this is the Cybermen from the Parallel Earth, I think that was the best Cybermen storyline, to be honest. Because Nightmare and Silver wasn't good. Actually, Death in Heaven, that was a good episode. That was a good Cybermen episode, especially with the return of the Master and Danny Pink dying. and especially with the ending scene, I mean. So, with the Cybermen, we are going to put them in Legendary, and they can live out with the Daleks creator Dav Ross and the Daleks when we get down here, because this Dalek... Actually, should we just put the Daleks in there and the Cybermen, and then we'll skip all the other Daleks? We'll put Resolution Dalek in, should never return. But, I think this is the creature from the Eaters of Light with Bill and Nardole. I think that was an awful episode, and I dread watching it every time I rewatch the show. The Handbots from The Girl Who Waited. I think they were okay. They weren't really villains, to be honest. So we're going to put in the pretty bad section. Next we've got more Daleks, and we're going to skip all them. We have... I've forgotten her name, but she was from the episode titled Time Heist. I think she was a pretty bad main villain. She was quite cringy and just made everything about her. And then she tried to escape the Doctor, and then her whole redemption arc was a bit forced. Next we have the New Humans from Orphan 55, and we know where they're going in Should No Return, since it's the lowest ranking episode of all time. Next we have Ashilda, or Mayami, or Me, or whatever you want to call her. I think she was an okay villain. Not that she was really a villain, because she was only a villain in Face the Raven, and that was because she was being controlled by the Time Lords. Are the Time Lords on this list? I see. And by the way, I will be ranking all the different masters. I won't just put the master in one of the columns, because obviously some are a lot better than the others. So next we have the Krillitanes. I actually think they were okay villains, so let's put them in the okay column. Next we have the season 11 master in the episode Spyfall part 1 and 2, as well as another episode down the line. It might be the Timeless Child, to be honest, but yeah, I think he was an okay master, so we'll put him in okay. He definitely didn't get as much screen time as Missy and John Sims' master, as John Sims played the master in at least 6 episodes, and Missy was the longest serving master on Doctor Who. Next we have the Empty Child. This was a scary episode. We'll put him in really good. He made everyone scared, so that's what a good Doctor Who villain did. The Family of Blood, I think they were quite cringy villains, especially when they took over Barnes and all the people that they took over. They were quite cringy as humans. And then how the Doctor just defeated them in like a minute by just flicking a circuit. So I think I don't want, so I wouldn't want to see them again. However, they're not in any of these categories because their episodes are actually quite a good watch. Family of Blood and whatever the other episode is, Human Nature. The Jadoon, who aren't really villains, they're kind of the space police. But we'll put them in okay, especially in Fugitive of the Jadoon. They are great in that. Matron Cophilia from the first episode with Donna, Partners in Crime. I couldn't really take her seriously. She was quite cringy as well, with her sonic technology and the fact that she was literally breeding fat. Prisoner Zero. Now, if we were ranking his episode, then it'd definitely be in the Legendary, because 11th Hour is definitely one of the best episodes. But Prisoner Zero, because he can lie in the really good column. Not that I know it's a him. It's kind of an alien thing. The Minotaur from God Complex, I believe this is. And we're going to put him in not bad, but not good. I think he was an okay villain. He wasn't actually the villain. The hotel was the villain. He'd been trapped there as well. So I don't think he was... I think he was great in the role, even though he's not an actor. I don't even know what I'm saying. Like, if you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that like button so I can keep doing this. Next we have the alien doctor, because just just the alien doctor. Jax was okay. I meant pretty bad. I meant whatever category. Now Missy's master can definitely belong in the legendary column, along with both Dav Ross and the Daleks and the Cybermen, because she actually had a purpose. Her redemption arc was really good, and just overall I think she was a great addition to what were some great series. The Sun in the episode 42, this villain I don't think should ever return. It just was a villain that said burn with me about 1,000 times in the episode and then melted people. It was quite a boring episode with just people running around. Next we have the face crabs. Now these, I don't think they're good enough to go in the top. Maybe they can go the bottom of really good, because the episode that they're in, even though it's a Christmas special and even though it's a very, very, very strange and weird Christmas episode with Santa and Easter bunnies and sleighs and stuff like that, I honestly think the Dream Crabs, or Face Huggers, I don't know why I said Face Huggers, that's from Alien. The Dream Crabs were great villains, because the Doctor never knew if they were dreaming or not, even when they woke up, because Clara was still old, so it was just all still a dream. Sardic, not Kazran Sardic, Elliot Sardic, or whatever his dad was called, I believe it was Elliot. We didn't get much screen time of him. If this was Kazran, then he'd be a pretty good villain, but he wasn't a villain, so we'll put Elliot in the should never return, since he wasn't really a villain, because he was killed off before we saw the episode. The Vardy, who actually I think they were okay, maybe not bad but not good, because their episode with Bill and Peter Capaldi's Doctor was a good episode. It introduced a lot of famous actors actually. Ralph Little was in that episode, who's in one of the runnings to play the Doctor next series, well, when Jodie Whittaker regenerates, which we have just found out that is not going to be for another series, or at least another series. She's staying on for series 12 at least. Are we on series 12 now? Or are we on series 13? Series 12, I believe. I keep getting confused because obviously Peter Capaldi's Doctor was not the Doctor in the 12th series, even though he's the 12th Doctor. It's quite confusing. The Grapheus in the Vincent Van Gogh episode, I think he was an okay villain. Not bad, but not good, actually. We'll put him in that section. The Gelf, I think they were pretty bad. We'll put them in there. How they tricked Gwen to let them through. It's not Gwen. It's might have actually been Gwyneth, but it's Gwen Cooper. Same actor as Gwen Cooper. So we'll just roll with that. The New Humans from the End of the Earth in Utopia, we'll put them in should never return. They were pretty awful villains. We missed this guy from the Arachnids in the UK, which are the spiders are down here, but the guy, I didn't mind him as a villain, but we will put him in the pretty bad column. The woman from Turn Left we'll put in should never return, since she was an awful main villain. The people from Rebel Flesh can go in this column, the Couldn't Take Seriously column. I don't even know who this is, so we'll put her alongside the people I can't see. Oh no, I can see this now. It's the Headless Monks. I think they were actually okay villains in A Good Man Goes to War. The guy from the spaceship episode, like the London on the spaceship episode, I think he wasn't even a villain, so we'll just put him in Should Never Return. More Daleks. However, we will rank the Emperor of the Daleks. He was not bad, but not good. He was quite cringy, and Rose just defeated him by putting some light on him. I know it was the time vortex, but, you know, it wasn't that bad. He's meant to have survived the Time War, so literally in a time... Okay. The Ood, when they went insane, this is when they had Red Eye. I don't know if Nephew's on here. I don't believe he is. But the Ood, I think they were actually okay villains when they got insane. But coming up is a villain that I think is in the awful category. I think it's Dalek Sec, or it's not Dalek Khan, because he's the one that blew up and became a good Dalek, kind of. I think this was Dalek Sec that turned himself into a Time Lord / human / Dalek, since David Tennant got in the way. But he can belong in that, since he holds the part in the 2 episodes that I dislike the most in the whole of Doctor Who. Even more than Love and Monsters, which is saying something. And I know I'm going to get hate for saying that, but this was not a good episode. Even though it has Andrew Garfield in it, who I hope comes back in the new Spider-Man film, but let's just hope that. The Ice Warriors, I think they're in the top tier. Not the top tier, but they are top tier villains. So I know this is in no particular order, but we'll put them just below the Flood. However, Empress on Mars did ruin them. But in the submarine episode, that was literally one of the best, in Cold War, that's what it's called. That was literally one of the best episodes of Doctor Who with Clara. And I think the joke at the end was pretty funny when Matt Smith's just like, ha 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 ha. Next we have the King John or whatever from Robots of Sherwood. I think he was a pretty bad villain. He was a bit over the top because he was a robot. We have the Angels from Voyage of the Damned. I think they were in the not bad but not good. I think they had a purpose and their storyline was quite good, how they became malfunctioned, but they were actually controlled by Mac, and then Kylie Minogue drove them off a cliff. Next we have The Wire, and she should never ever return. She just shouted hungry at the screen for literally 40 minutes. It was so cringy. Next we have the Geographers from Platform 55, Platform whatever, another one of the worst episodes with Simon Pegg. He's in that episode. But we'll put the Geographers as an awful main villain since we just see this mouth hanging from the ceiling. The Pilot Fish from 2 Christmas episodes with Rose. The Christmas Invasion, and also... Oh no, the other one's not with Rose. The other one's with Donna. I think they were not bad, but not good either. So we'll put them in that category. The woman from The Bells of St. John. I actually really like this episode, but her as a main villain, I'm going to put her in there. I know a lot of you will probably want her like down here or something, but we're going to put her in that category and she can stay in there. Oh, this is Macra. I tried to look through before I started, so I zoomed right in on this one because I could not see what that was from here. Macra, I think... I want to see them again because the David Tennant's Doctor described them as empire builders, but they'd just been turned into monsters. So I couldn't take them seriously as monsters, but I'd love to see them as empire builders or in their establishment or whatever. Just a random human from Demons of the Punjab, or however you pronounce that. Sorry if I've just offended anyone. But we'll put him in the awful... You thought I was going to put him up here? No. He's definitely in the awful category. He's one of the worst main villains of all time. And we've just hit the 30-minute mark on the live stream, and we're not even halfway through. This is definitely going to be like an hour-long live stream. The Dream Lord. Now, he was a good villain, and I'd love to see him again. Also, if you'd like to see me do a tier list of villains that I would like to see again, I'll do like top 10 villains that I'd like to see again, or top 10 like companions of Doctor Who, or anything to do with Doctor Who. Make sure to leave a comment or leave it in the chat if you're watching live what other videos you'd like to see on the channel. These people also from... Oh no, this is not the guy from Sherwood, is it? It's the Maya guy. Sorry, I've mistaken that. But I thought it was the robot from Robots of Sherwood. It's the Maya, I believe. But no, it does look like Ben Parker? Ben Parrish, I think. Who plays him. But I can't see the Maya anywhere else. So let's just take him as the Maya. And we'll put... The Maya was... I couldn't take him seriously. And then the Robots of Sherwood, they were pretty bad. Now, this is an episode that we never, ever, ever want to see again. A bit better than The Wire, but... Like, the episode was so bad. It was all about dust in your eye and how it forms creatures from some machine. I've forgotten what the machine was called. It's such a forgettable episode. Next we have the Raven. No, this wasn't really a villain. It was just a Raven. But just because it killed Clara, we'll put it in the not bad but not good episode. Because it killed off one of... Well, not one of. The longest standing companions in New Who, at least. I've never watched Old Who. Actually, I've watched one episode at my grandma's like a long time ago. But in New Who, none of the companions have even got close to how long Clara was there. She was there for at least 3.5 series. And yeah, no one's got close to that. I mean, Rose kind of did, but she wasn't there for all of it. She left at the end of series 2. Not even at the end, like halfway through, and then came back at the end. And then came back in series 4. Next we have the people that slit their heads open. Also, if you play FIFA, the guy that played this villain here, that I'm on right now, not the Dalek, this guy also played Alex Hunter in the FIFA 17 story mode. Oh my god, that was... No. That was on FIFA 17. That was 5 years ago. That is mental. But yeah, we'll put him in the pretty bad section. A frog. I don't even remember this. I tried to search it up before, and it just came up with Jodie Whittaker's era, so I guess that probably means it's going to go in this section, because most of her episodes are in this. Like, we've got 1, 2, 3, and none anywhere else, to be honest, except from... I'm pretty sure there was one somewhere. Yeah, Krasko. He was an okay villain, but all the rest are down here so far. Oh no, and these. Yeah, why have I put Rags above, like, 42 villain? Let's move these Rags down. They were just in the sand and they just talked like weirdos. Now this is a hard one, because I could put Weeping Angels all the way up to the top, because they, in Blink and in Flesh and Stone, they are amazing main villains. But in, I've forgotten the second part of Flesh and Stone, when they start to move on camera, and also in Angels Take Manhattan, that when the Statue of Liberty is an angel, now that is a bad episode. But when they come back in Day of the Doctor, that kind of redeems them. So they can stay in Legendary for now. The Gunslinger, who's in the same episode as Jex, wherever he is here, and he can actually go above Jex in the not bad but not good section. Sky from, like, right, hit this creature, because I don't have a clue. It was like a one-off series, one-off episode, Midnight. and it infested Sky, and then Sky infested the Doctor. Like, seriously, this was such a scary episode because it just repeated every single thing. And even the Doctor was scared by it because Donna repeated what he said at the end, and he just freaked out, to be honest. Next we have the bacteria from the moon. Yeah, the bacteria from the moon, which I thought was okay, but pretty bad, to be honest. Next we have more of Jodie Whittaker, some tree monster things which should never return. The wolf from Tooth and Claw can go in okay. The Cybermen from, I believe this is Nightmare and Silver, but I said I'd just rank one of them, so we'll skip past the Cybermen and the Daleks, and we'll go straight to this guy. Isn't this the guy from the Boneless episode? Oh no, it's not. It's the guy from the Doctor's daughter, and he kills Jenny, so he can definitely go in this should never return column. House, I think House was a good concept, how he lured them to the planet and then tried to take the TARDIS. So I'll put him in not bad, but not good. No, this is the Maya. So that must have been him. He can drop back down. The Maya can go in couldn't take seriously, especially this guy, who looked like this guy but wasn't this guy. Now, John Sims Master can also go up there with Missy. Like, loads of people think this guy is going to be better. Maybe he will be, but he's only had 3 episodes to prove that so far. So these two, for me, are the best Masters at the moment. Another Dalek, so we'll leave these, and I don't actually have a clue who that is. I think it's someone from the Jodie Whittaker era, so we'll just put him down there. Her down there. What's the person from the Sycorax? That's what he's called. We'll put the Sycorax in the okay section. I actually really like that episode when David Tennant has just regenerated. More Cybermen. However, this one I will rank because I actually hate this episode. So, actually, no, the episode is okay. I hate the villain in it. Because this is from the new Doctor, the next Doctor. The pig people should never return. This Master should go in the okay column. Because I actually liked him a lot more than this guy. And it literally looks like he's holding this scythe. Because the Krillitane's wing fits perfectly. Look at that. Next we have the guy from the Mummy on the Orient Express, who I'm going to put in really good as well. We have the... I've forgotten what this guy is, but he's some like lion prince with May and Me, and I hated that episode as well. I think the Maya episode was a lot better than the second part to it. King Hydro Flax. I actually liked the episode that he was in. I know we're not ranking episodes, but we'll put him in here, especially because he's played by Gilbert from The Inbetweeners. I keep forgetting his name. I'm forgetting everyone's name today. More water, the puddle monster. We'll put in awful. This one from the monster under the Thames, we'll put in awful. This one from the spaceship, we'll put in awful. Bill Potts as a Cyberman, who I don't know if that is Bill Potts, but it is. We'll put in really good. I actually really liked this kind of Cyberman, so it's worth a ranking. This random dude, who I've forgotten, but I'm pretty sure he's not from the Jodie Whittaker era, so we'll leave him for now. The ghosts from Peter Capaldi's era, we'll put in not bad, but not good. However, more Jodie Whittaker with the Pating, we'll put in should never return. Actually, no. I'd be fine if he did return, just with a better storyline. So he can go in the awful section. Next we have the Pyrovilles. Now that was a good episode. Fires of Pompeii was a good episode. But the villain was not a good. So we'll put the villain in pretty bad. I have no idea who this is, so I'm guessing Jodie Whittaker's era. No offense to Jodie Whittaker or anything. I think she's a great Doctor. Just like we're seeing a massive pattern with all of her villains. They're all in this section. Not one is in. Actually, one was in this section, wasn't it? Yeah, him. And him. Well, or it. But we'll leave them in there for now. More Daleks. The Rachnos, I think he was a good, well, not bad, but not good. Oh, now this, the Time Wraiths, well, that's what they're called in the Flash, the Time Monsters from Father's Day. I think they were actually really good villains. More Cybermen, the vampires or fish people from Vampires in Venice, we'll put them in. Not bad, but not good, because I actually really like that episode. Weird glowing things. It's either the ghosts from when the Cybermen come, but I think they just call them Cybermen, so this must be from Jodie Whittaker. The Silence, now they are up there in the really good column, along with the what are they called? Silurians, that's what they're called. The Silurians can go in there. The cat people can go in. Couldn't take seriously because they weren't very good villains. This monster also couldn't take seriously from the caretaker. The spiders, they were okay villains until the Doctor suffocated them all in a room. More Daleks from other stories. The mad son of that woman, wooden woman from, I don't even know, the episode with Bill Potts, I thought was an awful villain. Oh, now the demon can go in really good. Now that was a really good episode. These people, because this is not the Chakra, this is just, the Chakra is not on this list, and I don't know what this button is, so it's an ominous red button. Maybe it's the blood control button that David Tennant just can't stop pressing. But we'll put them in awful because they didn't really do much. They just injected Rory's dad. The Slovene, I couldn't take them seriously. They are off in the top of that category because all they did was fart, and especially in the first two episodes. Not so much in Boomtown. That was a much better episode than the first one. Like Aliens in Parliament or Downing Street or whatever the episode was called. Next we have the Praxeus virus, and as much as I like it, I never want to see it again. But it's not off in there, even though it's Jodie Whittaker. So we'll put it in. We'll put it in not bad but not good. It was a scary, freaky episode. It didn't have a monster. It was just a virus. So we'll put it in there. Just what is this? Seriously. Should never return if I can't remember it. This is the metal shell creatures from Planet of the Dead. We'll put in the pretty bad category. Right, now this is someone that's off in the should never return. It's like Mycroft Holmes. I mean, he's played by Mycroft Holmes from Sherlock. I've forgotten what he's called, but the big guy that turns into a monster and tries to unage himself. The time remnants of Clara and the people from inside the TARDIS, I did not like that at all, so that can go in the awful section. Tim Shah, I actually liked him as a villain. I know I'll get a lot of hate for that probably. Well, not hate, but most people won't agree, but we'll put him in the okay column. Next we've got the Utopia, or the, I forgot what they're called, the people that went to Utopia, the humans. Awful. More Cybermen. Whatever this is. It's the demon thing from Heaven Sent. Now that is a good villain, but because it doesn't talk, it don't have any lines, but it just waits, so we'll put it in really good. as Hellbent is not Hellbent. Heaven Sent is one of the best episodes, and Zygons, they're definitely up there with in the really good, because the Zygon Invasion and then Zygon Inversion, they are both amazing episodes. And that is it done. That is a 45-minute video for you guys, or live stream for anyone watching. Oh, we forgot to rank this guy. I've forgotten who he is, so we'll just close our eyes and drop him. He got dropped in the not bad, but no, we'll put him in pretty bad. I don't remember who he is, but we'll leave him there. And by the way, we haven't ranked these because we've already ranked the Daleks and the Cybermen, and we decided to just leave them. So that is going to be all for this video. Make sure to stay tuned, leave a like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for the next tier list.